Hello and welcome back to the Premier Injuries channel. Today's video is an important update for injury news. Like I said before in a lot of videos this week, we are the injury news channel. We cut through misinformation. We give you the most up-to-date and important information. And today we've got news on Leeds United's injury situation. All through the week there's been a lot of speculation, rumour, and we have actual news today on Patrick Bamford's situation. So Ben, can you confirm what has been released from the club now?
Yeah, so Marcelo Bielsa has spoken at today's press conference, and while he was evasive on some of his players and whether they'd be back, he did actually state that Patrick Bamford would not be available after picking up that ankle injury at St James's Park last Friday.
And so how long will he be ruled out for? Should people be considering getting him out of their fantasy teams, or is this going to be like a 1 week thing?
I mean, if you listen to Bielsa, all he ever talks about it's how the injury evolves. And that's true to an extent, but that doesn't really help us in terms of a return to play. But what we do know from watching the actual video footage from the injury itself, and also what we've seen in the days that followed, it looks to be a minor sprain, potentially a high ankle sprain. It was a coming together with Mankillo. The footage wasn't great, but it looked as almost if he rolled his right ankle. Now, earlier on this week, we've seen a public appearance by Patrick Bamford, and his ankle was strapped. There was no calm boot there. There was no protective cast that sometimes you see players wear to protect that area. So again, that's a fairly good indication that the severity of the injury isn't, is such that it will keep him out for a long period of time. I was quite surprised that that he hasn't made game week 6, but again, I wouldn't think it's long term, and I'd be very surprised maybe if he wasn't back before the international break.
So going forward, we have to look who's going to replace him in the team. Tactically, I don't think things will change too much. We know that Marcelo Bielsa loves to keep to his style no matter who's injured and who's playing. But who's going to be the player that does come into the fold there?
I mean, it doesn't happen very often. I think we had 37 starts in the Premier League for Patrick Bamford, but I would expect Rodrigo to lead that Leeds attack this weekend. He's been champing at the bit. He feels as if that's his preferred position and that's where he wants to play. So this is an opportunity to go out and really stake a claim for that strike and roll and to show Marcelo Bielsa and everybody else what he's all about.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, looking at the data from last season, Bamford was a steady performer. He slightly underperformed XG, and we've kind of said that, you and I previously in other podcasts, that he's an all right striker. He's not an amazing one, but he does get a lot of opportunities, and this is expressed by the fact that he had a lot of shots in the box last season. In fact, he had the second most of any player, and then he also had a relatively high XGI of 20.01, which was quite high in the league as well. That was a top 5 piece of data. But Rodrigo isn't bad. I think he's got a lot of negativity recently. A lot of people have been criticising him. But in terms of his per 90 data over the last year, he has 0.43 goals per 90. That's a 99th percentile. His XG per 90 is 0.42, which is also a 99th percentile. And his XA per 90 is a 97th percentile with 0.23. So there's impressive underlying data there. It might be a seamless fit there. It might be good if you still have the likes of Rafinha in your team. And I think from what you've said there, though, it's not worth the gamble to get him in instead of Bamford. But it does give you hope that maybe if you do have those other creative players around him in your team, that it's all right for this game week to hold on to the likes of Rafinha. But that is our big injury update there. We'll be doing these through the season, so make sure to subscribe. We'll be giving you the most up-to-date information in terms of injury news, cutting through rumour and misinformation, but also giving you the tactics and the data to explain what happens when this player comes out injured or is returning to the team, because that's so important as well to contextualise that data. But for now, we're going to give you the best of luck. We hope it's not ruined your teams and your game week, and we will see you later this week in terms of the deadline stream on Saturday. Make sure to not miss out on that one.